Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Izzah Amirah binti Jusoh. My matric number is A21B2996. Today we are going to talk about Frederick Winslow Taylor. Let's start with quick explanation about Frederick Winslow. He was born in 1856 to a Quaker family in Germantown, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. In early spring of 1915, Frederick Winslow died. He died on March 21, 1915, and he was buried in West Laurel Hill Cemetery in Pennsylvania. He was an American engineer and the first management consultant. Instead of attending Harvard University, Taylor became an apprentice pattern maker and machinist, gaining shop floor experience at Enterprise Hydraulic Work in Philadelphia. At Midville, he was quickly promoted to time clerk, journeyman, machinist, machine shop foreman, research director, and finally chief engineer of the work. Taylor's past promotion reflect both his talent and his family's relationship with Edward Clark, part owner of Midville Steel. Early on at Midville, working as a laborer and machinist, Taylor recognized that workmen were working their machine or themselves not nearly as hard as they could. A practice at the time was called soldiering, and that this result in high labor costs for the company. From 1890 until 1893, Taylor worked as a general manager and consulting engineer to management of the manufacturing investment company Philadelphia, a company that operates large paper mills in Maine and Wisconsin. His business card read consulting engineer, systematizing, shop management, and manufacturing cost a specialty. Through this consulting experience, Taylor perfected his management system, and now, as a wealthy man, Taylor focused the remainder of his career promoting his management and machining method through lecturing, writing, and consulting.
Thank you, Izzah, for presenting. Now it's my turn. My name is Tengku and it's Maisarah Binti Tengku Masrun. My matric number is A21B3147. Frederick Taylor's scientific work laid the foundation for mass production technique. Scientific management theory, aka terrorism, may sound outdated, but is still very much alive in the modern workplace culture. The principles are still widely applied, especially in labor-intensive industry. This type of companies operate in a cutthroat environment. They need to keep their costs low and output high to stay afloat. Details Taylor's role to produce interchangeable parts that were durable, reliable, and cost-efficient. It explains how interchangeable parts were the foundation which allowed mass production to become a practical manufacturing reality. It reminds us that Taylor's trainings and experience as an industrial engineer influenced his interest in solving the problem of production machinery breakdowns. Taylor's role in the making interchangeable parts economically feasible and impact of nowadays. Theories examines the influence of Taylor's work on modern accounting system. Their paper also examines Taylor's experience working to design accounting systems suited to his clients' needs. Taylor's development of cost accounting system closely paralleled the development of his ideas regarding worker efficiency. This paper offers strong evidence that Taylor's ideas are not limited to the field of management, but are applicable across multiple functional areas of business accounting in the 21st century.
Hello, my name is Nabihah binti Othman. My matric number is A21828874. Okay, related example. I have 3 related examples with Frederick Winslow Taylor. First, Starbucks, second, Toyota, and lastly, McDonald's. Firstly is Starbucks. Starbucks use scientific management, especially in parts of the frontline workers. They are always careful in every management in their company, especially about selecting employees. They also train less experienced employees to make sure that employees can organize their job methods suitably. They also practice human relations theory, which is motivated their employees to do their job well. Secondly is Toyota. Toyota is one of the organizations that use scientific management. Toyota use science and technology in their management, which is they use automation with human intelligence instead of automation. They also use scientific management in selecting and training, which is select the physically and mentally healthy people for the job. And lastly is McDonald's. McDonald's is also one of the organizations that use scientific management. This is because they use a system that compensated for accomplishing objective goals, mandates scientific education for staff and employees, uniform procedures to do its job. They are also concerned about staff-specific training. McDonald's also employs a consistent procedure to each staff to complete their tasks.
Next, let's talk about advantage and disadvantage. There are 5 advantages that I list here. The first one is decrease in accuracy. Inaccuracy decrease as the theory based on experiment and observation for context-specific solution. With better planning and improved decision making, the inaccuracy achieved. Next is cost of production reduced. The mechanization and the latest use of technology in the production of good enhance productivity. Since there is enhanced large-scale production, there is a decrease in per unit cost of the production. The third advantage is pay system. With the theory, piecework pay system follow, where payment is monitored based on piecework. Here, incentive considered to enhance productivity and provide high wage for employees. With higher productivity, there is an increase in wage for employees. The differential incentive plan provide higher wage to efficient workers. In this way, the standard of living of the employees made better. After that, quick decision making. Planning of time and prompt decision making are few good aspects of scientific management theory. And the last advantage is less production time. Work in lesser time achieved with scientific management theory. The operation regarding production is pre-established and lead to fewer production delays. There are 5 disadvantages. Firstly, require huge capital. The theory requires an investment of huge capital and considered as a costly system. The establishment of work study, planning department, training of worker and standardization require more money. Next advantage is management takes control. The management takes complete responsibility related to the control and planning of workplace activities. Since the manager take up control of the employees, they lack creativity. Another reason for this is that since they repeat the same task, their core is meaningless, monotonous ideas which reduce employee motivation. The advantage is planning reduce productivity. Though the capability to plan is an advantage, the downside of planning is that it makes inflexible and rigid and may lead to carelessness and dissatisfaction. This direct to less productivity. Fourth advantage is unemployment. With the application of this theory, men replaced by machine, which in turn lead to unemployment. In this way, fewer employees require and many check out from work. And the last one is adverse effect. The scientific management theory push workers to rush to complete their work and complete work within the stipulated time. In this way, there is an adverse effect on the health of the worker.
So the conclusion, the development of scientific management led by FREDICK early last century has a clear and direct influence on the development of both operation management and operation research. Moreover, that influence is not static but rather a dynamic influence. I believe that future assessment of the body of knowledge in the fields of operation management and operation research will be a tribute to the early contribution by FREDICK through his classical work on the principle of scientific management.